The commander of the Zarnath fleet, General Zarth, stood on the bridge of the flagship, the Vorlath, his multiple eyes fixed on the panoramic view of the stars. His chitinous exoskeleton gleamed under the soft luminescence of the control panels, a testament to his long years of service. Around him, the bridge buzzed with activity as his officers prepared for what they believed would be the final assault on the Terran stronghold. "Status report," Zarth commanded, his voice a series of clicks and hisses. Sub-Commander Veers, a younger Zarnath with a sleek, dark exoskeleton, turned from his station. "All ships report ready, General. We have the humans surrounded. Their defenses are primitive at best. Victory is assured." Zarth allowed a rare, satisfied chirp to escape his mandibles. "Excellent. Let us proceed. Begin the bombardment." As the fleet unleashed its destructive fury upon the human defenses, the Zarnath warriors chattered excitedly, their victory chants echoing through the ship's corridors. But then, something unexpected happened. "General, we're receiving an incoming transmission," Veers reported, his tone suddenly tense. "It's the humans." Zarth's eyes narrowed. "Put it through." The holographic image of a human appeared before them, clad in a strange, armored suit. The human's expression was calm, almost serene, as he spoke. "This is Captain Elias Markov of the Terran Defense Force. We request an immediate ceasefire to discuss terms of surrender." Zarth's mandibles clicked in amusement. They wished to surrender. How amusing! But Veers's eyes, dark and unblinking, reflected uncertainty. "General, something feels different. The humans have never offered surrender before. They have always fought to the last." Zarth waved a dismissive claw. "It is a ploy, a last, desperate attempt to buy time. Ignore it. Continue the assault." As the bombardment intensified, Veers's screens began to flicker with strange readings. "General, I'm detecting multiple energy signatures. Ground level." "They're humans, sir." "They're deploying ground troops." "Ground troops? Against our fleet?" Zarth scoffed. "They must be mad." But as the reports came in, it became clear that this was no ordinary deployment. The humans were not using their ships or drones. They were sending their soldiers directly into the fray. "General, their troops are equipped with some sort of advanced exosuits," Veers said, his voice betraying his growing alarm. They are cutting through our defenses with ease." Zarth's eyes widened as he watched the feed. Human soldiers, encased in sleek, powerful armor, moved with a speed and precision that defied belief. They cut through the Zarnath warriors like a hot knife through butter, their weapons emitting strange, pulsating beams that tore through even the strongest Zarnath exoskeletons. "This is impossible," Zarth muttered. "How can mere humans—" "General, we are losing ground rapidly," Veers interrupted, panic creeping into his voice. "Our warriors cannot hold them back." On the ground, Zarnath Captain Thryx led a battalion, his compound eyes wide with disbelief as he watched the human soldiers approach. "Stand firm, warriors of Zarnath. We cannot let them break our lines." But the humans were relentless. Thryx watched as a human soldier, smaller and seemingly frail compared to a Zarnath, leaped over a barricade with ease, his armor gleaming under the harsh light of battle. The human's weapon discharged, and 3 Zarnath fell instantly, their carapaces shattered. "By the stars," Thryx hissed, retreating. "They are unstoppable." In the chaos, he found himself face to face with a human. The human's visor lifted, revealing a pair of piercing blue eyes. Thryx raised his weapon, but the human was faster, disarming him with a swift, precise movement. "Why do you fight us?" Thryx rasped, trying to understand. The human, breathing heavily but with a determined gaze, replied, "We fight for our home, for our families. Surrender now, and you will be spared. Thrix's mandibles quivered. We never stood a chance, did we? The human shook his head. No, but your bravery is noted. As the ground battle raged on, Zorthan watched in horror as the humans continued their advance, their soldiers moving with a coordination and efficiency that was almost machine-like. General, Veers's voice was a whisper now, filled with dread. We must retreat. We cannot win this. Zorthan's pride fought against the cold reality before him. Retreat, retreat all forces. We must regroup. But it was too late. The humans had already breached their final defenses. The flagship shook violently as explosions ripped through its hull. General, the humans are boarding the ship, Veers cried, his fear unmistakable. Zorthan drew his weapon, his claws trembling. Prepare to fight. We will not go down without a struggle. As the human soldiers stormed the bridge, Zorthan faced them with a defiant roar. But the humans, with their advanced armor and weaponry, were unstoppable. One by one, the Zarnath warriors fell, until only Zorthan and Veers remained. You fought well, General, the human captain, Elias Markov, said as he approached. But it's over. Zorthan, his body broken and bleeding, looked up at the human. How did you? Markov's eyes were filled with a mixture of respect and sorrow. We have always been underestimated. But when it comes to protecting our home, our people, we are unstoppable. With a final defiant cry, Zorthan fell, his vision fading as he heard the sounds of his ship being taken over. The last thing he saw was the Terran flag being raised on the bridge, a symbol of their unyielding spirit. In the aftermath, as the Zarnath fleet retreated and the humans secured their victory, Veers, now a prisoner, looked at Captain Markov. Why did you not accept our surrender? He asked, his voice weak. Markov sighed. Because we knew you would never truly surrender. But now, maybe you'll understand. There is more to us than meets the eye. Veers nodded slowly, understanding dawning in his eyes. We never stood a chance. Back on the Zarnath homeworld, the Council of Elders gathered in their grand chamber, an imposing structure carved from the planet's crystalline mountains. The defeat was being discussed, and the atmosphere was heavy with disbelief and shame. How could this have happened? Elder Grons, the eldest of the council, clicked his mandibles in agitation. We had the superior technology, the numbers. Yet we were defeated by humans? Elder Vixra, known for her strategic acumen, responded. It appears we gravely underestimated the human spirit and their will to fight. Their technology, though primitive in our eyes, is highly effective. And their soldiers, there was something extraordinary about them. Grons's eyes narrowed. What do you suggest, Vixra? We must study the humans, understand what drives them, what makes them so formidable. This is not just a matter of technology or numbers. There is something more, something deeper that we need to comprehend. Elder Exal, always skeptical, interjected. You speak of them as if they are gods. They are but flesh and bone like us. Vixra shook her head. No, Exal. They are more than that. Their determination, their resilience, their willingness to sacrifice everything for their home and families, that is what makes them unbeatable. We must learn from them if we are to stand a chance in future conflicts. Grons sighed, his posture slumping in resignation. Very well, Vixra. You have the Council's support. Begin the research. We must understand our enemy if we are to survive. Back on Earth, in a secure debriefing room within the Terran Defense Headquarters, Captain Elias Markov stood before a panel of senior officers. His expression was calm, but his eyes reflected the exhaustion of battle. Captain Markov, your report, General Thompson, the head of the Terran Defense Force, commanded. Markov nodded. As reported, We engaged the Zarnath fleet head-on. Their initial assault was overwhelming, but once we deployed our ground troops, the tide turned in our favor. Admiral Lee, another senior officer, leaned forward. "These exosuits you mentioned, how effective were they?" "Extremely, Admiral. The suits enhanced our soldiers' strength, speed, and durability. They allowed us to close the gap and engage the Zarnath on our terms. But it wasn't just the technology. Our soldiers fought with a level of determination that I've never seen before. They knew what was at stake." General Thompson nodded thoughtfully. "And the Zarnath? How did they react?" Markov sighed. "They were taken by surprise. They underestimated us, thought we were just a primitive species. But once they saw what we were capable of, their morale shattered. It was clear they weren't prepared for the kind of fight we brought to them." Admiral Lee nodded. "Good work, Captain. You and your men have done humanity proud." As Markov left the debriefing room, he couldn't help but think of the Zarnath he had encountered on the battlefield. Despite their differences, there was a mutual respect, an understanding that in the end, both sides were fighting for their survival. Weeks later, on the Zarnath homeworld, Virs sat in his cell, reflecting on the battle. He had been treated well by his human captors, a testament to their honor and respect for their enemies. As he looked out at the stars, he couldn't help but think of Captain Markov's words. "There is more to us than meets the eye." Virs knew that the Zarnath would have to change, to adapt if they were to survive. They had learned a valuable lesson, one that would shape their future interactions with the humans and other species in the galaxy. Back on Earth, Captain Markov stood on a balcony overlooking the city, the lights twinkling like stars. The victory against the Zarnath was a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. But he knew the fight was far from over. The galaxy was vast, and there were still many unknowns. As he gazed up at the night sky, he felt a sense of hope and determination. Humanity had proven its strength, but they had also shown mercy and honor. It was a new era, one where cooperation and understanding would be as important as strength and technology. "We never stood a chance," Virs's words echoed in his mind. But Markov knew that humanity's greatest strength was not in their weapons or their technology, but in their spirit, their unbreakable will to protect what they loved. And that, he knew, was something that no enemy could ever defeat.